Now joining us in the studio tonight to talk about those stories is our guest, the sports commentator and QPR youth team coach, Fitz Lewinson. Fitz, turn to the big shock in English football today. Aston Villa stunning Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley with a come-from-behind 2-1 victory. Honestly now, did you see that coming?
Didn't see it coming, Daniel, not at all. Everybody expect a vibrant Liverpool to win the game.
And before we talk about the failures of Liverpool, how would you assess the job that Tim Sherwood has done? He's only been manager of Villa for 10 games now. Yes, they're still involved in a bit of a relegation scrap, but he's taken them to Wembley. No one would have predicted that, would they?
Well, I think he's done a superb job. What he's renowned for is getting the best out of especially strikers. He's done it with Benteke, making him now look like a world beater. So Tim Sherwood is one for the future in terms of getting the best out of players for me.
And let's turn to Liverpool. No fairy tale finish for Steven Gerrard in his final season for Liverpool. In a way, ever since he announced his decision to leave Liverpool, things have been a nightmare. He's been injured. He got sent off against bitter rivals Manchester United. Why has it gone so badly wrong for Gerrard in his final season?
Well, if you look at the pictures of Gerrard, he looks really, really sad. Yeah, you're saying that he got sent off. His form has dipped. And Rodgers played him today, which I expected he would have put him on the bench. But maybe sentiment, it's his birthday in terms of the final, so let's give him his last chance. And did he really, really have an impact in the game for me? It was just an under-par Gerrard for me.
So do you think Rodgers erred by actually picking Gerrard?
I believe that maybe he should have left him on the bench and bring him on to have an impact as the game goes through, personally.
Let's turn to Brendan Rodgers, because no manager at Liverpool since the 1950s has gone 3 seasons without winning a trophy. Brendan Rodgers becomes that first manager. Is his position worrying for him now?
I would say trophies are one, but however, getting into the top 4, if he achieves getting into the top 4, I think the board and the fans will see that as a trophy, so to speak.
But do you think that can happen? Obviously, we'll talk about Man City's victory against West Ham, which has seen them firm up 4th place. What's the best Liverpool can hope for now for the remaining games of this season?
Well, it's still numerically possible for them to get into the top 4. However, I see it as just being a little bit short. I think the 4 teams that are there now are going to be 1, 2, 3 and 4, and Liverpool mostly settle for 5th or 6th, if that.
OK, before we turn to Manchester City, your prediction now for the final. Most people thought it would be a Arsenal-Liverpool final. We now have an Aston Villa-Arsenal final. Even despite Villa's heroics today, Arsenal must start as huge favourites.
I believe Arsenal start as huge favourites, but I'm always one for the underdogs, and I believe if Arsenal come there expecting to win the trophy, I think Aston Villa can then do another shock like they did this afternoon.
So if Villa were to play as well as they did today against Liverpool, and perhaps Arsenal bring the game that they played against Reading, could we see a Villa surprise? We
could definitely see a Villa surprise. So that what Arsenal's going to turn up on the final, that's what we need to see. But I wouldn't back against Aston Villa.
OK, we'll have to wait and see. Let's turn to Manchester City. They finally got a win after going 3 games without a win in the Premier League. Pretty straightforward victory against West Ham. Why do you think their title defence has evaporated so quickly in the space of just a few weeks?
Well, it could be fatigue. It could be they look tired. I mean, when the Man City that we're used to are vibrant and full of energy, full of magic, but they just seem to be playing at a certain par, a level par to me, where they can't get to those heights of at the beginning of the season and the tail end of last season.
So do you think this team, and we're showing pictures of Pellegrini, who's obviously a man under pressure, he even said that if they finish 5th, that will be a disaster. Do you think this team is getting too old? The likes of Yaya Toure perhaps have to be sold, and they have to bring in some new blood?
I believe they need some youth coming through the side. Whether that will be from the academy, I doubt it. They'll mostly scour the world for the best young talent to come in. But yeah, I agree with yourself. They need some more younger legs in the team.
And do you think City will persist with Manuel Pellegrini at the helm even if they finish fourth and get Champions League football? Because I'm sure at the start of the season, you know, they're the defending champions, and for them to finish fourth and also get knocked out of Europe at the round of 16 stage, that's not something the owners would really be looking at, would it?
I totally agree, but it all depends on who's available at the time. For me, if the big shooters are not available, in terms of the big-time manager not available at that time, they might hold on to Pellegrini until that opportunity arises.
And we're just showing there, Chelsea 10 points clear from Arsenal following that huge win against Man United. What's your take on Chelsea this season? They're not playing the same free-flowing football as we saw earlier on in the season, but I suppose Jose Mourinho knows how to win league titles.
That's the Jose Mourinho way. It's efficient, it's effective, and it's winning games. That's his philosophy, winning games, winning titles. I can't see anybody else taking the title away from Chelsea this season.
Do you think, I mean, Chelsea play Arsenal next. Is there any crumbs of comfort for Arsene Wenger? Is there any way that they can somehow, miraculously, steal the title from Jose Mourinho?
I don't think so. I believe now Chelsea are in that position. I can't see a Mourinho team failing at this stage of the season. OK, Fitz, pleasure so far having you on Global Sports Report. Plenty more from Fitz later on. While still with us is our guest, a sports analyst and QPR youth team coach, Fitz Lewinson. Fitz, I know you helped identify Raheem Sterling, the superb Liverpool player. You picked him out as a special talent. How would you assess his season so far? I think he's had a very good season. For one so young, playing in so many different positions. I think the start of the season was really, really good. It's now tailing off a little bit, and I think that's just a bit of mental fatigue. But I think he's had a tremendous season.
Now, obviously, there's been so much talk on his contract situation. Will he stay or leave Anfield? What's your take? And do you think that's perhaps distracted his season? You said that he hasn't quite matched the heights as he did earlier in the season.
I believe Raheem should stay at Liverpool for his development. He plays every week. If he now goes to, let's say, a so-called bigger team, will he be guaranteed football every week? And for me, you develop by playing. So for me, Raheem needs to play every week. Stay at Liverpool, Raheem. So
your prediction is he will stay at Liverpool?
I'm hoping he'll stay at Liverpool.
OK, we'll have to see if that prediction does indeed come right. Fitz, pleasure having you here on the Global Sports Report. Thanks for your valuable insight. That's it from this edition of Global Sports Report here on Arise News, coming to you from London. And many thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.